Here we are again. Here we are again. I want to get comfortable for this one. No, that's down. I was thinking up. I was actually thinking through the air. After a couple 20-plus yard passes, I was thinking through the air on first down. I mean, oh, we're talking about the chair, right? Yeah. Oh, right. Bengals, though. Come all the way back. All the way back from, again, another deficit against the team, the relentless Bengals. You have to appreciate that. You have to love that about this football team. Come all the way back, bring it to overtime. Burrow's moving this football down the field. This team's getting chunk play after chunk play. They get right on the border of the red zone and run into proverbial. How many times have we said this year? The absolute death of this Bengals offense this year, besides not being able to protect Burrow and besides the drop passes, has been running on first down, running on second down, then not converting on third down, where they are forced to throw the football on third and short. They have struggled more than anything in those particular situations. We've seen it time and time again. When this Bengals offense starts slow, it's got a lot to do with run, pass. Run, pass. Especially when your team's dropping passes on third down, it's like it makes it that much more difficult. It has been the run, pass, and it has been the drop passes that have been really, well, again, offensive line struggled here and there. It's been really the only thing getting the Bengals way. And we have been the biggest defendant, I think, of Zach Taylor throughout this season. Really have. Been trying to stand up for this guy. I love the idea that he's usually up for change. He's up for open mind. He's open to try to continue to grow and improve. He is a young coach. He's going to make mistakes. But we're 3 years in. We are 13 games in. And the same thing that was stopping the Bengals offense in week 1 is stopping the Bengals offense in week 13. They are starting games slow. Questionable play calling again. A little bit to do with drop passes. You can't blame everything on the coaching staff when your players are just dropping passes outright. We've seen it again this game, dropping first downs. But we are learning more and more just how great of a quarterback Joe Burrow is. For whatever it's worth, I don't think it matters because as fans, we watch this guy play every week. We know the eye test. But as far as it's concerned, Pro Football Focus has this guy ranked as the second highest graded quarterback in the NFL right now. This is a guy that can beat you over the top. He can beat you down low. And fact of the matter is, the reason we bring up this not running stuff, we bring up the question of about time the Bengals, they need somebody to either take over the offensive coordinator job, they need somebody to take over the head coaching job, or they just need these guys, they need to change things. But the reason we bring this stuff up in the first place is because what has been happening in these Bengals games? At some point, this has to become clear. Joe Mixon is a heck of a running back. And he has made some excellent runs this year. There have been games where he has put this team on his back and carried them forward. But mind you, there has been a lot of games where the run game starts slow. The Bengals offense starts slow. What happens? Bengals fall down multiple possessions. They are forced to throw. And what happens? Your franchise quarterback does just that and moves the football down the field and gets his team right back into this game. So my question is, why are you waiting until you're down 14, until you're down 24, until you're down 16 to unleash this franchise quarterback, potential best player the Bengals have ever seen in their franchise's history? Why are you waiting until you're down 14, until you're down 20 to start playing aggressive football? Again, I love the idea of trying to run this balanced game. I do. I think it's great you're trying to run a balanced offense, but I mean, let's be honest here. Can anybody name 3 running backs on the 7 Super Bowl winning championship New England Patriots teams? Or let's play who is the 5 best players, or 10 best players. Because does anybody throw a running back on the top 10? How about the Kansas City Chiefs? How about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? I think Fournette's having a heck of a year this year, but how much of them were relying on the running game? Let's face it, it's a pass first league. It has been for a while. And I think it's one of those things where Joe Mixon's a great compliment. He really can cause fits for opposing teams if you use him properly. But I think what we're learning out of Joe Burrow, we watched it in college. We've watched it his first couple years in the NFL. He is a quarterback. We call it the Peyton Manning rule around here. He's a quarterback that can stand back there for 20 seconds, look at the defense, change the play up, pick them apart, and do what needs to be done. He is a field general. He is a guy that needs to be giving as much offensive power flexibility as possible the entire game. Not when it's a 2-minute drill when you get to move the team down the field. Not when it's a 20-point game. From snap number 1 of the football game, Joe Burrow needs to be out there standing in a shotgun reading that defense. The guy knows when to look run. The guy knows when to look pass. We've seen it before. We've seen him. He's not afraid to go down, pick that football, tuck it down, and run himself when he sees the lane. You can count on this guy, I think, to go out there and say, hey, there's 6 in the box. Now, let's run the football. There's 7 in the box, 8, whatever. Let's audible to this. You gave this guy all the weapons in the world. You got to let him, the guy with the through-the-roof football IQ, use those weapons, I think. And quite frankly, again, I do. I like, we're 3 years in. It took some time, took some patience. It is what it is. I like where Zach Taylor's done with this team. I like what Lou's done with this defense. They have put this team, and mind you, it's got the talent to be a championship team. It really does. But it also has the talent to be the best offense in the league right now. You got 3 elite wide receivers. You got an elite running back. You got an elite quarterback. There's not, this is, the Bengals right now, in my opinion, have one of them teams you look back in 15, 20 years and say, you imagine if Peyton Manning had those, well, you're kind of like you look at Tampa Bay right now. Like, is it fair to have Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown? You look back and say, how are you supposed to stop that offense? And I think that's where things get redirected back to Zach Taylor, because it's apparent and clear at this point in time that, again, besides the drops, we've seen when crunch time comes, when the Bengals need plays through the air, Joe Burrow makes them. So it makes you wonder, why is he not being given more freedom from the offensive coaching staff standpoint here? I either think the coaching staff needs to say, hey, let's free this guy up a little bit. Let's give this guy as much offensive freedom as possible. We'll see how things go. He's going to study up. He's going to call the right plays. I got all the faith in the world in Joe Burrow. Let's give this guy the keys to the castle. Again, the Peyton Manning role. Let him run to the line. Let him stand there. Let him change the play up. Let me see what this offense does. If Zach Taylor's not willing to do that, if he can't handle giving, I mean, he doesn't even give up coaching, offensive play calling to somebody other than himself. If he can't handle that, if he can't manage to do that, then you look for a different coach. You have to. I want to see the guys succeed. I want to see the Bengals succeed. But if you're not willing to make that decision, I think that's a big decision. I think you're talking in a difference in a team that puts up 35, 40 points consistently and doesn't have to start slow. You start ahead early. And this is a team, if you start ahead high, I mean, you let those pass rushers get warm. You let this Bengals defense, who's, mind you, kept this team in a lot of games. You're blowing teams out consistently. I think some change needs to be had. Love your guys' thoughts on it, though. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.